level versus high level versus low level. What is this low level and high level language? People, mostly if we are talking about high level language and low level language, they do not understand what is the meaning of this level exactly. What is this level? So level means what? It is high level means कि हमारे दिमाग के हमारे सर के ऊपर से जा रही है. Is it? No. So level is what? Level is how close it is to the microcontroller. So we all aware that in a CPU or in a computer we have microcontroller is one of the part, and which plays a major role. So the language which is close to and this microcontroller understand only binary language. Binary language is 1001 form. So the anything which is written in 1001 form, it is understandable by microcontroller, but not by us. So the level is here is which is very close to this microcontroller. The language which is controlled to the microcontroller is what we call low level. And as we go far from this microcontroller or microprocessor, we understand English language properly, means or English or Hindi whatsoever. So English language which is written, which is easily understandable. So this is what we call high level language. So high level language is by me from us mean to say which is understandable. Level means understandable. So with the language which is close to English, like C, C++, or called high level, or sometimes they are called middle level. But anyhow, there are two levels only, low and high. We sometimes we called it middle, but it is high level language. So the language which is close to English language, not close to English language, means which is human readable or understandable. So that is what we call high level. And the low level means which is machine understandable, means which is machine readable. So machine readable is what we call low level. So I hope you understand high level and low level. Now sometimes we are in a myth that only few languages are low level and few languages are high level. No, there are lot many languages are there which are categorized as low level and high level. So here the high level language, it can be easily interpreted as well as compiled in comparison to low level because of its human readable nature. It can be considered as a programmer friendly because programmer are whom we are the programmer, those who are going to do the coding. So that is why we say it can be considered as a programmable friendly language. It is easily understandable and it is easy to debug. It is simple in terms of maintenance. It requires a compiler interpreter to be translated into the machine code. It can be run on different platforms. Yes, very important. It can be ported from one location to another. It is less memory efficient. It consumes more memory in comparison to the low memory because it is not directly stored into the to the memory. That is why or we will say comparatively storing this because a corresponding to is represented like 1001 means 8 bits. So obviously the 8-bit requires more space to store while the character requires less space to store. That is why we can say it is a less memory efficient. It consumes more memory in comparison to the low level language because the low level language is which is operated by the operated on a microcontroller with the help of RAM and ROM. So it requires less space, and this will require the more space. So you must have to aware this. It is the less memory efficient. It consumes more memory. Next example of high level languages are C, C++, Python, Java, they all, and it is used widely in the today's time. This is very important. And nowadays all we are whenever we are going to code something, we code it in more or less in the English language, that is which is close to English, that is not following the English grammar and the rules or syntax, but yes, the characters that we are using is from the English language, means the character or keywords we are using, it has a similar meaning of as the same word has a meaning in English, like add. If I write add, this is a quite easy word for in arithmetic. which means addition of the two numbers. So when we add, right, and the in English it has the meaning addition, and in the program also add means the addition. The machine can understand when we are writing add, then machine can understand that we have to add the numbers. So this is all about the high level language. I think it is very easy. Now come to the low level language. What are the low level languages? So low level languages in comparison to high level, it is also known as machine level language. One, second, it can be understood easily by the machine. Number third, it considered be a machine friendly. I think all three are almost same. And next one is it is difficult to understand. Yes, why it is difficult to understand? Because like if someone write it like this in front of you and asks you to read this, so I think no one is capable of reading this. Although if let us suppose this 8 bit represent A, this next bits are represent B, so one can if it is written in English language one can easily understand, but if it is written in binary form it is difficult to read. So that is why it is called difficult to understand, difficult to debug also. Let us suppose there is an error of 1 in this one, in place of this there must be a 0, there may be a 0. So you can't debug the code if it is written in this form in front of you. So that is why it is called, it is difficult to debug. It maintenance is also complex, because if let us suppose there is a machine engineer who knows the binary language, but still the maintenance is very complex. If he want to do the some sort of correction in this, it will require high skills and very complex process. So it is not portable also. It depends on the machine, hence once it is run on one machine, it is not can be easily transferred into the another machine, hence it can't be run on the different platforms. It requires an assembler that would translate instruction. It is not used widely in today's time. So basically this line is little bit ambiguous. It is not usually, basically we whenever we code, that code get converted into machine language, because machine then understand this. But in the early phases, when we are using the punch card kind of programming language, punch card, एक पंच कार्ड टाइप की प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज होती है, जब आपके पेरेंट्स ने कभी किया हो, कभी वो कंप्यूटर यूज़ करा हो तो उन्होंने यूज़ किया होगा। उसमें वो कोडिंग 1001 की फॉर्म में बेचारे करके लेके जाते थे बैच प्रोसेसिंग के लिए, वो प्रोसेसिंग के लिए। तो वो वाले एनवायरनमेंट से इसको डील कर रहा है, बता रहा है यहाँ पे कि इट इज़ नॉट यूज नाउ डेज। बट obviously whatsoever language, C++, Java, Python, that is what we call high level language, we have to convert it for their execution. We have to convert this kind of languages into low level language. So to say that it is not used nowadays, it is not a good statement. The real meaning is low level language that we use earlier for the punch card or magnetic tapes, that is not using nowadays, that is obsoleted. But obviously they are not using directly, we are not using low level language directly, but obviously with the help of high level and with the help of compiler and assembler that we read earlier, उनकी मदद से हम लोग इसको कर सकते हैं, मतलब यूज कर रहे हैं लो लेवल हाई लेवल को। लास्ट टॉपिक very important for the today's class. Now comparison between high level low level. So comparison, if we are talking about, it can be considered as a programmer friendly and it is machine friendly. One is very important. Another one is it requires a compiler interpreter, it required assembler, we already learned this. It can be ported from one location to the another, it is not portable. It is easy to understand, difficult to understand, easy to debug, difficult to debug, required less memory efficient, it consumes less memory, it is less memory efficient, it consumes more memory, because whenever you write some characters, every character has certain space, because for to store a character like A, we need this bit as well as this font or color and everything. So to display this A, we or store this A somewhere, you have to store this code as well as the font size code and color, all the information you have to store. So that is why it requires more memory. मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है बच्चों, जैसे A है, A का बाइनरी कोड जैसे 1001 है सपोज, तो 1011 ये तो मशीन में चला ही जाएगा। मशीन में अगर हमें लो लेवल में स्टोर करना है तो हमें ये स्टोर करना है, लेकिन अगर मुझे हाई लेवल में स्टोर करना है तो मुझे ये तो स्टोर करना ही करना है। 1001 तो स्टोर करना ही करना है, प्लस में इसके कलर की इंफॉर्मेशन, इसके फॉन्ट की इंफॉर्मेशन भी स्टोर करनी पड़ेगी. तो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज written here. It is less more memory efficient. It consumes more memory in comparison to low level language. So this is all about the today's class. So let's note down, pen down some questions. Number one is, what is high level language? What is high level language? Give some examples. Give some examples. And another question is, what is low level languages? Give some examples. And the last topic is, how low level languages are different from high level languages. How low level languages are different from high level languages. Third one is important from exam point of view. तीसरा वाला ज़्यादा important है. So let's stop recording here.